Welcome to today's webinar. We're going to be talking about some of our Gen AI enhancements, so our Now Assist features. And we have a couple of folks on the line. I'll introduce you to them in a moment. But we can just get this kicked off. If anybody joins us late, that's fine. So welcome to today's webinar. We're going to go over what's new in Gen AI Now Assist, and it's February 18th. I am going to quickly go through our safe harbor statements. Just to let you know, we do need to make these available and publicly state that we're not going to give you anything that you should make investments on, but we do try to be as open and transparent in these sessions as possible. So any information on new products, features, functionality, it's intended to outline what we're bringing to the market. There may be slight changes, but we do try to be as transparent, as I said, as possible, and make sure that we're delivering you as much information so you can make your own investment choices as well as your development choices appropriately. So please bear with us if any changes happen. But as I said, ask questions and make sure that this is an interactive session, and we will try to be as open as possible. Few housekeeping rules. Everybody has been automatically placed on mute. We'd really appreciate it if you can use the Q&A feature to ask questions throughout the session. The session is being recorded and shared on the community forum following this. And after the session, you may be prompted to fill out a short survey. We appreciate your feedback because we use that information to try and make these sessions more informative and more helpful as we move forward. So what's coming up? Today, as I said, we're talking about Gen AI. But we have a bunch of other sessions coming up in February and into March. So we're going to go through all of these feature function trainings for you and try to detail what is happening in our product across the entire risk portfolio. So in March, we've got a lot of things coming up. They start out with smart assessments, privacy, and go all the way through to our final session on third-party risk management. These are all available for you to register for in the community where you signed up today. So definitely check back that link, and I'll put it in the chat later on in the session. But what I'm excited to share with you is that all of these enhancements are now available in the store online. So you can download these as your licenses allow, and you can take any of these enhancements and start using them in production today. Let me introduce today's speakers. I know Andy and Trini kind of jumped in, letting us know where they were from. But we do have some excellent speakers today who are intimately involved in the product and in the roadmap. So they're looking forward at what's coming next. So if they do make any of those statements, please bear with us. But do ask questions. Do ask questions about the features, how they can be used in production today. Anything you're interested in finding out. If you can't answer your question and we don't get to it today, we will follow up with you and make sure that we get all of the information to you as possible. So what are we talking about today? We're talking about the AI agents for integrated risk management. Srini, can I pass this to you so you can detail this, because you're probably going to do a much better job than I would on going through the features.
That's right. Thank you, Rosalind. Thanks for the introduction. All right, welcome to everyone. Uh, Issue summarization in IRM, the first GenAI feature. We are happy that we just launched it, and I'll spend a minute talking about what exactly is the problem statement that we try to solve and how it eases or how it helps analysts life better and give them better experience. And then we'll quickly move into a demo where I'll show you the capability and how it works. Talking about the problem statement, right? GRC analysts, when they work on issues, uh, GRC issues tend to be the ones generally which won't get resolved maybe in a couple of hours or in few hours or days, but sometimes it takes weeks together to get it solved, or in few occasions it goes on for months together to get to a resolution. So during the course of these many weeks to months, an issue analyst or GRC analyst who is working on it, uh, he keeps adding information, not just him. There are multiple stakeholders who are involved here. There can be teams who are impacted because of this issue who gets involved and adds information, or there can be other analysts who works on remediation tasks on this issue, who also contributes to. So all these different stakeholders during the course of solving that problem will spend time working on that issue, coming back to that issue in different time at different times in these weeks to months, trying to ramp up, trying to understand what new information is added on it. See, if we had seen issues, especially ones which had crossed 1,000 words to 2,000 words, if those are so big, every time someone have to put sometimes minutes to hours to really understand and get the entire context of that issue before they get into add and contribute to solving that issue, right? This is for all the stakeholders that are involved, and especially if there is a handoff that is happening between two different analysts, or if there is a team, if there is a situation where a team is transferring information on what they learned in solving an issue to another team, right? There is no easy way to do it. Someone have to concisely work on it, bring down the information, and then share it. So that's the problem we really try to solve here for an analyst, to reduce the time and effort they put in to get the context of an issue by giving a simple solution. By adding a button called summarize, so that any time they can come to an issue, hit that summarize button, get the quick context of an issue, and then jump into solving it. So that eventually it improves their experience in reducing the times they take to solve the overall issue, and also improves their productivity so that they don't spend too much time in understanding what happened on that issue, what are the new actions that have happened, and maybe they will jump into what makes more sense, and they contribute more to the issues. So that's the problem we try to solve. I'll move into a demo instance maybe and quickly show you how the capability works. Yeah, I'll take over the screen,
Fantastic.
Rosalind. Yeah. Screen. Are you all able to see my screen?
I am, yes.
All right. Okay. So I'm in an instance now. I'll show you, before showing you how exactly the feature works, I'll first start with how someone can activate this capability, and then we'll move into how I'll show you how the capability works. So here I'm impersonating a role called, uh, uh, I'm impersonating a user called Abraham Lincoln. Just to call out, I had given two crucial roles that Abraham Lincoln required for activating an issue. One is Now Assist admin role. I'll quickly show you what Now Assist admin means. I am impersonating as Abraham Lincoln. Now I'm moving into Now Assist admin. So this is single place where all the GenAI or AI capabilities of ServiceNow across all the workflows are present. Uh, So I moved into the Now Assist Features tab. You can clearly see all the workflows mentioned here and different capabilities under each of these. I'll move into IRM tab and see the issue card, where we can see all the issue related GenAI functionality being present under this. I'll move into view details. There are different skills that you can see here. All are the same skills. I have different copies of the same skill that I'm playing around with. So for the first time, when someone is trying to activate this skill, they should have the entitlement for this Now Assist for IRM app. Uh, and once they have the entitlement, they'll be able to install it and come here into the Now Assist admin and activate the skill. While activating it, there are a bunch of few steps they'll have to go through, starting with the details about what exactly the feature is, what are the different LLMs that we had used on that feature, different inputs that are providing for that LLM. In this case, since we are talking about issue summarization, right? Uh, Issue table will be the primary field. All the description fields on the issue table is something that we are using to feed to LLM so that it gives us output. Not just the issue table, since on issue there are remediation tasks which are also crucial. We are also passing on the remediation task important description fields to the LLM along with the issue descriptions. Now, if you see on the left side, you can see different states that we generally see on an issue that's mentioned here, which basically means we can choose for which state what fields we would like to pass to the LLM. If we New state is generally where less descriptions will be present on an issue, maybe few comments on work notes. But if we move to analyze or to response states, you can clearly see that number of fields that we are considering for summarization has increased, right? So this is something out of the box we are shipping. But if customers have more fields or different fields on the issue record other than what we ship out of the box, they can as well add them. I'll show you in a few minutes how that works. So for each record, for each state, once the input fields are selected, we'll move into availability section or step where customers can choose whether to have the skill available on any situation, or maybe they would like to put some conditions. For example, maybe there is a customer who would like to show the issue summarization capability only if those are active issues. For closed issues, they do not want to show, right? In that case, they will add a condition here. For for the demo, I'll select no conditions here, and I'll move into the next phase where we are enabling where exactly in that product we'll be enabling this feature. There is only one way we can do it. That opens up like a ribbon. In a minute, I'll show you how that look like. Along with it, we'll also add users who will have right to access to that issue summarization. For example, if this is something that's available to all the analysts, right? Everybody will be able to use it, and for every usage, there will be assist consumption. In case if the customers want to have a gateway, a right usage for this feature, we are introducing out of the box a role called GenAI issue user. Only users who have this role will see the summarize option and will be able to summarize. Now, if customers have custom roles they would like to add here, they can add, and whoever has those custom roles only will be able to summarize. Uh, I'll move and save the configuration that I had selected so far. I will review all the configuration, all the description fields, the input fields primarily, any conditions that we had applied. In case, I'll review that and the users that we had selected and then activate the skill. So this successfully activates issue summarization capability, which means now I can go into issues and quickly show you how the summarization works. So like I said, for a user to use issue summarization, they should have this role, GenAI issue user role. So I'll impersonate another user who has this role, which I already assigned to able tutor. So I'm impersonating for this user. Now I'm able tutor and I'm moving into risk workspace. I'm navigating to a issues page. Give me a second. Yeah, I'm in risk workspace right now. I'm navigating to issues tab. I'm looking at issues in different states here, new, in progress, closed. I'll click on in progress, and let's say I select one particular issue which is in analyze state. So once I open that issue, in the overview page, you see there will be a ribbon that will appear automatically, because since I have this role, I'll be able to see this ribbon. If I don't have this role, the ribbon will not appear, and the issue overview page will look as it is like for any other user, like how it appears right now. Quickly, I'll go and summarize. In few seconds, we'll see and get the context of what all happened on that issue. If we can see, the summary has three different sections that we are seeing here, right? One section talks about issue description, what all that issue is about. And the second section talks about different actions the analyst had taken on that issue. And if there are any actions that were not completed or in progress, or if there are any remediation tasks which are still in progress, because as you see, the issue is still in analyze state, right? It's not closed. So there are ongoing actions as well that will be called out by the LLM in case if it finds that those actions are tasks to be incomplete or yet analysts are working on it. So this is how the summary will look like if it is in an analyze state, where analysts or stakeholders would understand what happened so far on that issue, and then they can act upon and contribute to bringing that issue to the closure. What happens if issue is in new state, right? Let me move and select another issue. I just moved to new state. I'm pulling up an issue which is still in new state and clicking on summarize. Ideally, when an issue is in new state, most scenarios there'll be just the issue description that will be present, but in few scenarios we had observed that without changing the state, sometimes there will be some actions which users would have taken upon, or they would have called out in the work notes. In such scenarios, in such exceptional scenarios, we will also find key actions taken or ongoing actions. Otherwise, most probably it will be the issue description, whatever is available in the new state, that we can quickly read and get the context. Especially, see, we had observed scenarios where, especially when we are looking at the data, the issue sizes sometimes are crossing 1,000 to 2,000 words. In such scenarios, this summary will really help, giving them a concise overview of what exactly the issue is about, so that they don't need to spend those hours or minutes understanding, going through different fields on that issue. In case if it is a closed issue, right? Till now, we had seen active issues where there are issue descriptions mentioned and there are actions or ongoing actions mentioned or completed actions mentioned. But if it is a closed issue, let's say, and I open one of these issues and click summarize button, since it is a closed issue, possibly it might have solution as well. In that scenario, we'll see three different sections, which is issue description, talking about what the issue is, different actions that users had taken upon that issue, and resolution, which talks about explicitly how exactly the analysts or users had solved that issue. So uh, this will give, especially when teams are sharing knowledge to different other teams, or they are trying to look back at historical issues and trying to understand how this has been solved previously, right? This gives a quick overview of how it has been solved and what exactly the resolution looks like, so that again it saves them time and effort not to go and look into that entire issue. This is how the summarization works and looks like. Now I'll quickly go into and show you how someone can change a prompt or add a field. Now, I understand that customers might not be using issues as how it is shipped out of the box. There can be additional fields that are on that issue, or they would like to include those additional fields and description fields into the issue summarization, so that that makes sense for them, or maybe tweak the prompt as how they want, and fine tune it. So I'll impersonate back to Abraham Lincoln, who has admin roles, and show you how to edit a prompt.
Can we
For
just
editing a
interrupt you
prompt,
for just 1 second?
yeah,
There actually
of
have
course.
been a few questions that have come in, and I know we've got a team answering questions on the call, but I
Yeah,
wanted to address a few of the publicly interest ones. Is this available in Classic or only in Workspace? It's one of the questions.
it's available on both Classic and Workspaces.
Fantastic. And can the summary section be configured?
Right. So I'll in a minute I'll show you how the prompt
Fantastic.
looks like. Yeah, it can be customized. You can add new sections or you can remove sections on how you can edit a prompt. You can do all those things. You can add new fields as well there.
Just wanted to ask a couple of ones I thought would be broadly applicable.
Sure. Sure. Shall we move on, Rosalind? Yeah. Good. All right. Okay, now I assumed I impersonated Abraham Lincoln again. Abraham Lincoln, like I said, has admin roles. For editing a prompt, user should have two admin roles. One is the now assist admin that we just saw while activating an issue. Another admin role that is required is skill builder admin, and I'll show you what a skill kit looks, how a now assist skill kit looks like, and how the admin role will help them. For editing a prompt, first I'll go into Now Assist Admin, exactly go to the place where we had activated the feature in the first place. I go to Workflows, Technology Workflows, select IRM, and navigate into Issues, Issue Summarization. Now there is an active skill that's present already here. Um, I'm going to make a copy of it. So to edit a prompt, we can't edit the skill that's active right now or which is already configured. So for editing a prompt, we'll have to make a copy of that skill and go into the prompt section. edit whatever we want for whichever state we want, and then publish that. Once it's published, it can't be touched. If any changes have to be made again, like I am showing here, I had made a couple of copies because I'm tweaking, I'm playing around with it, I'm making changes to the prompts. So another copy needs to be made, like I'm doing right now. I'll make a copy and I'll give a name for this. Copy v3. It's a name I'll provide, and if I want to add any other description, let's say there is a particular reason why we are creating the skill, copying the skill again. Maybe we want to add specific sections. Maybe we can call that out clearly there, and then navigate to next section where I can review what fields I have with respect to each of these states. And if I want to add any new fields, I can add here. Similarly, same thing for remediation tasks as well. And I'll navigate to next section. If there is any condition I would like to add again, I'll use this section to add. For the demo sake, I won't add any condition and I'll move forward. Here again, I will activate the issue summarization capability in product, and I'll check if this is the role I'm going to use as a gateway for my users, so that only people who have this role, users who have this role, will use issue summarization and rest will not be able to access it. In case if I want to add any custom roles, I will use this section to add those roles as well. And move to the last review state where I'll review all my selection. And for now, since I'm going to show you how to tune a prompt, I'm not going to activate the skill immediately. I will exit it here. So the issue skill that I had created now, the copy v3 is in draft state now. Like you can see here. Now I'll go into skill kit where I can tune the prompt. I can clone the prompt and tune it. Now to access skill kit and access the functionality or to do the task that I'm doing right now, you need to have the role skill builder admin role, so that you will be able to access skill kit and do exactly what I'm doing right now. If it is a skill builder user role, you'll still be able to access skill kit, all that I'm seeing right now, but you won't be able to edit prompts. That's the difference between admin and user. Now I'm seeing the new skill that I had created just now, a copy which is still in draft state. I'll open that skill. And these are the different prompts for different states I can see here. And this is exactly the prompt that's working behind the screens. For example, if I am in analyze state, the one of the issues that we had just seen, this is the prompt that we are using where we are clearly calling out what exactly are the three sections that we need to show: issue description, key actions taken, and ongoing action sections. Or there are multiple checkpoints on what to show, what not to show that we had included here out of the box. Now let's say I want to tweak this section and add a new section in the analyze state called root cause analysis, for example. Then I'll go and clone the prompt here. I'll give a new name for the prompt, issue in analyze state v3. Sorry. I'll select the LLM that's working behind the scenes. In this case, it is Now LLM, and the provider API, which is Now LLM API. Add this prompt. Now I had cloned it. Like you said earlier, it's only a read-only field for me, the prompt. But now I am in a new prompt called issue in analyze state v3, which is still not published. So I'll be able to add anything here. Like I said, I'm going to add root cause analysis section. Now I'm finalizing the prompt. I'm saving it. And you have to make sure you make this prompt as the default prompt compared to the previous one. I'm finalizing it. Like I said, now this is read only. This cannot be edited anymore. And you have to go and publish this prompt. I'm selecting this prompt as the one I wanted to use for analyze state and publish it. Since now the prompt is published, now I made some changes. To look at these changes, I'll quickly go back into Now Assist admin and activate the skill that where we had changed this prompt. I'm navigating back to admin. There are a bunch of multiple skills there. We had kept this skill in draft state earlier, if you remember. I'm navigating to workflows, IRM, opening issue summarization skills. This is the copy v3 that we created, which is still in draft state. I'm going to deactivate this skill and activate copy v3. Activate. Yes. The same process I did earlier while activating. I had selected different input fields, availability, any conditions if I want to. I had checked if the gateway, the right for access role is present or not, and then I'm moving into activating it. I'll review it and activate. Now the skill is activated. Let's quickly go back. Impersonate the user, able tutor, who has the role issue GenAI user so that we can see how exactly it will look like when we summarize it. I'll go into workspaces.
Srini, while you're just moving back there, a question's come in about, which I think I'll just jump in now if that's okay.
Sure, yeah,
Question
yeah.
come in, once you're in the published state for the skill, can you not pull it out of the published state? Is that why you created a new one?
Uh, Sorry, can you repeat that?
Um, I'll just read it as is. So once
Yeah.
published, can the skills can't be pulled out of the published state? So you had it published and you created a new one. Can you push it back, basically back, to draft? Or would you
No,
recommend
once
creating a new one?
Yeah, once it's published, it'll be in the published state and we can't pull it back to previous states. So if you want to make any tweaks or if you want to change the prompt, you will have to follow this process and create a clone and do it for that clone. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
Any other question, Andy, or shall I move into summarization?
You carry on. We'll go through some of the questions at the end.
Cool. Yeah. All right. I impersonated able tutor. I moved into risk workspace. Now I'm going back to an issue which is in analyze state. I clicked on in progress issues. I'll find an issue. Let me find an issue. Okay, this issue is in analyze state. Now I see the ribbon because I have the right role to access summarization. I'll click on summarize. And as you can see, I can see new section that appears here. But since I did not explicitly call out what kind of description we would like to show under that section, I just added, given the prompt and input that add this section as well. It added that section and did not call out any information under it. But as we go, like other sections, we can tweak and we can add information there so that explicit information or specific things that we wanted to show under that can be shown. Yeah. And few more things, few more callouts on the UI while you are using summarization. You can give feedback whether that's helpful or not helpful, so that the feedback will be very helpful for us to fine tune and improve in future. Or let's say we want to copy summary and paste it anywhere. Let's say in documents or even in the work notes, you can use copy section. If the issue is not in closed state, you can use share to work notes. This option will directly take whatever the summary is into the work notes so that we don't need to copy paste and do everything again. And another call out, since we don't store whatever the summary that we are showing here anywhere, as we refresh or we move out of the screen into other pages, the summary will disappear. If we come back to this issue again, it will be as like it's a new issue again, or it'll be in the same state again, and then we'll have to hit summarize and look at the summary, regenerate the summary and look at it again. Yeah, few callouts. That's all I have. Any questions?
That was great, Srini. Thank you. It's so good to see. I think it will really be beneficial to our customers. Um, questions come in, which I'll answer actually. So, what IRM license is required to enable this feature or assign the required role? So, this is a license for our IRM Pro Plus and Enterprise Plus customers. So, it's an additional license, the Pro Plus and the Enterprise Plus. And obviously, you need to have IRM Professional or IRM Enterprise to get access to these add-on SKUs as well. I should say this is the initial feature that's part of the IRM Pro Plus and Enterprise Plus SKUs, but we've got so many great AI features coming out as well. AI agents, more summarization of records. I won't go into too much detail, but if you do want to hear more, please make sure you sign up for our quarterly webinar, roadmap webinars that we do every quarter. Or we've actually just had one. We had one last week. If you've missed that, don't worry. Please just reach out to us, Outbound Product Management, and you can come and contact us directly, and we're happy to go through it. Oh, sorry, I had a frog in my throat then. We're happy to go through it in more detail, and we'd love to get your feedback as well, actually, in terms of, are we on the right track for our AI story and what we're thinking about included in the AI here as well. Another question, Trini, that's come in is, how is the AI trained? Like, what's happening with our customers' data for this? Are they sharing data? If you could just quickly go over kind of, you had the little drop down then for the Now LLM. Could you just explain a little bit more about that?
Sure. See, first of all, this is not explicitly trained on customer data. The LLM is already trained for summarization purposes, and as and when we use it, the LLM is only looking at that particular issue at that particular point and summarizing it. Since like I said, we are not storing it. Also, we are not again learning from the summaries that we are generating and re-summarizing it. That's not happening. Every time it will be a fresh input that will be providing to the LLM, and the summary will appear from that input itself.
Okay, that's a good question actually, because I've already had feedback on that. You
Mhm.
don't have to have thousands and thousands of issue records to make this generative AI work. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah, it
It'll start
uses the
working for the first issue. Yeah, because it's
perfect. It
already
uses
trained.
the
Yeah.
LLM. Yeah,
Yeah.
excellent. Yeah, that's what I've had before as well. Okay, perfect. Um, Another one is you've covered it off, I think, briefly in here, and actually someone's already put that in a question about training it for other things. So this is issue summarization. Can you
Mhm.
use it to train it for other things like they've said entity, control objective, risk statements? Can you use it for train like that summarization of other records?
This particular use case is for issue table only. The specific input fields and all the descriptions that fields that we are providing is for the from the issue table only. But we are expanding into newer use cases. We are looking at different areas where we can leverage the summarization. And as we expand, there are bunch of new features that we are planning in 2025. So yeah, we are looking at other areas as well to expand. But thanks for the feedback. That will be helpful. As I can see, right, for an entire entity, summarizing it and looking at all the issues holistically, we'll take that as a feedback and uh, work on it.
Perfect. Yeah, just to reiterate the point we mentioned before, please speak out to us. We're always interested to make sure that we don't build things that you're about to build or vice versa as well. So, a lot of the times we meet with our clients and we do also look at your roadmap for what you want to do in the next year, but also what are we releasing as well. So, you're not building something we're just about to release and you can take advantage of it. So please always feel free to reach out to us and ask for your OPM team, and we're more than happy to facilitate those meetings as well.
And I think, Andy, that speaks to a question that came in over the chat rather than the Q&A, talking about the AI functionally currently available. So they were talking about making a business case for IRM GRC. So I think that's very important. I think they're talking about integrated risk management. But we would definitely want you to talk with the OPM team because they can tell you not just what is available today, but what is coming, which would be most relevant to when you actually implement the technology and when you get it over the line internally. So definitely reach out because there's a lot happening and they can tell you what's going to be available, as I said, when you actually sign the contract and move forward with us.
Yeah, and I can see there's loads of questions. It is like is it trained for recommended or auto-recommended remediation actions? That's actually one of them is actually already in the product right now for intelligent issues. So if you use intelligent issues, it does use our current AI machine learning capability, not the LLM, to automatically recommend remediation actions and also issue owners. But as we said, keep an eye out on what's coming. Please reach out to us because this also is something we're looking to kind of improve on for going forward and potentially using the LLM for that as well. So yeah, please feel free to reach out to us. More than happy to have these conversations with it as well. Actually, though, one for you, Srini, which I think is a really interesting question, one we might have to take away. But how does this work with parent-child issues? Does it traverse and go across parent-child issues for the summarization?
No, currently it's only that particular issue record that we are looking at, and if there are any remediation tasks related to it, the summarization only is looking into that issue and the remediation tasks related. That's where it's limited to scope to for now, but we are looking at expanding the capability in the future releases.
Perfect.
Yeah.
One of the questions was, we have clients with on-prem instances. Is the feature also available for on-prem?
Uh, I'll have to check once and get back on
Fantastic.
that. Yeah.
So if you'd like to put your email into the hosts and panelists in the chat, that would be great. We'll follow up with you after that. Thank you for the question, though. Great. There's a couple more reiterating the fact that you have the Pro or Enterprise IRM, but you do need to also license this separately. So that was one question that was reiterated. Andy, do you see any other questions that come through that would be important? I know everyone's questions are important, but I want to make sure that we're not giving specific questions just to one person's instance. One suggestion was that they'd love to see it as its own tab once the issue is closed. So you can take that for a future roadmap. Great. Well,
Sure.
I think we've got a lot of information that we've shared today. I don't want to overstay our welcome, but as Andy said, the OPM team is always available for conversations and follow-up. There's a lot of different ways to connect with us, and the one that I would emphasize the most is joining us in the community. Andy's team has made great strides and efforts to give us one central location for having a lot of those conversations wherever you are along your implementation journey. Initially, if you haven't gone there and you're just getting started, there's a great onboarding kit there. You can talk about implementation planning, and it's a great place to go for sign up for our events, demos, and all of the release notes and forums to converse with other folks in your network. So definitely go there, participate, and the URL is in the chat. If you like to scan that, it's also on the screen. But to have conversations with people in person, I would definitely say that you should look into this as one of the events that you think about for 2025. Last year and the year before, we had Accelerate, and then last year the security team came together with Connect, and now we're combining those into a larger event because a lot of our opportunities are overlapping and a lot of our customer base overlaps as well. There's a lot of benefit to having more than one product in ServiceNow. As you probably know, we're a platform. So we've decided to combine these events, and registration is going to open soon. It's going to be in October in Santa Clara. So definitely put that on your roadmap and or in your budget for this year. It is a free event this year again, and we want to make sure that folks can come, talk to others, learn best practices, and talk directly with our product experts because everybody is on hand at that event. So thank you very much for your time today. Thank you to the presenters, Andy Shrivas, and thank you very much for taking the time, and to the folks that were on the call to answer questions. We really appreciate you. And we will get back to that person, and we do have all the questions saved. So I'll run through those at the end of the session just to make sure that we did address all of them. So thank you for your time. We appreciate you. And as Andy said, the outbound product management team is always available to have continuous conversations. So thank you so much, and we'll talk with you soon.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.